Japan doesn't just have Miyamoto Hosono and Hayao Miyazaki, they also have Makoto Shinkai, who is amazing. Amazing. Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking. Here's my ranking of Makoto Shinkai's movies. Yes, Makoto Shinkai is an amazing Japanese filmmaker who directs some of the best animated movies out there, or some of the best. Yes, Miyamoto Hosono and Hayao Miyazaki have better filmographies because they just have made more better movies than Makoto Shinkai, but trust me, this guy, when he gets a few more under his belt, he's going to be one of the great Japanese animated filmmakers because he's made some really good movies and some amazing movies. And I'm here to celebrate those movies, all 7 of his movies, his long movies and his short movies, rank all of them from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, let's get started. Here's my ranking of Makoto Shinkai's movies from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, coming in at number 7 is the movie She and Her Cat. Yes, this is a short film that was in 1999, which was like a 7-minute movie and stuff, and it's a pretty weird, strange, kind of cute movie. It's got some good, gorgeous atmosphere in the movie. It's a really good animation design. I enjoy the story. I admire the story because this is the start of his career and stuff, so you have to admire the movie, but the movie is bizarre and weird, but for a short film, it works. Again, a very weird, strange story that comes out of nowhere, but it's still good. It's well executed, it's well paced, and it's a very delightful short film by Makoto Shinkai. Not his best movie, but still a good one. Coming number 6 is Voices of a Distant Star, also a very short movie, but a really good one. Visually very appealing, got some pretty cool characters, very enjoyable sequences in the film. It does leave an impact on you after you watch the film. There is some problems I have here and there with the movie, but it's still a very good watch, very entertaining watch, and again, there's not a lot to say about his short movies, other than they're just very good movies. They're flawed, but still very good movies, and Voices of a Distant Star is a very good movie. It's better and longer than Her and Her Cat, and not as weird, but still has flaws, but all in all, it's still a very good movie. Coming number 5 is Garden of Words. Garden of Words is a movie actually on YouTube. That's how I watched this movie. This is actually a pretty recent movie. It's a simple romance story about like a shoemaker and stuff, and I was very intrigued to see this movie when I first heard about it. It looked very good. The trailers alone were just beautiful and gorgeous. And the scenery in this movie is beautiful. The waters, the bridge, just the entire set pieces, how they were all hand-drawn is gorgeous. It's a very, very soothing movie, very atmospheric movie with a pretty decent romance, but again, what I have with the issues I have with this movie is the issues I have with a lot of Makoto Shinkai's movies is the lead characters. The movie is mostly the 2 lead characters. They have a good romance, they have good chemistry, I enjoy watching them, but they're both pretty one-dimensional characters. They're not particularly interesting, they don't really have a very fascinating or interesting personality, but they're still good, and again, the atmosphere and the animation is what really draws you to the film. But the movie does lack on its character development and its intrigue with its lead characters, but it's still a good movie, a very beautiful movie, and I do enjoy Garden of Words, but definitely not an amazing movie. Like, it's not like you're watching a Miyazaki movie when you're watching this one. It's just a very good Japanese animated movie, which I like. Coming number 4 is The Place Promised in Our Early Days. Yes, this movie a lot of people love. Some people are saying this is one of Makoto Shinkai's best movies. I don't agree. This is a very good movie. This is a very smart movie. Very clever. The writing is very intriguing, very smart, very cleverly written. There are some scenes in this movie that are very gripping, very powerful. How they deal with reality and different worlds, very intriguing. Again, the problem I have with this movie is the problem I have with a lot of Makoto Shinkai's movies, is the lead characters. The 2 lead characters in this movie are not very interesting. They have this romance that isn't very viable, and I really didn't care for these 2 lead characters, this boy, this girl trapped in this other world and stuff, and this boy who is searching for her. I actually really did not care about the 2 lead characters, but the biggest praise for this movie is its side characters. And the one thing I did like about this movie is that it steered away from its lead characters and went to its side characters, which are the best characters in this movie. His best friend, the scientist, the person he works for, those are the best characters. The side characters is what makes this movie awesome. There are great characters. And there's some action sequences in this movie that are very good, very intense, and like I'm like, holy shit, what's happening? And the entire climax of this movie is really freaking good. It's beautifully animated and very, very intense. And it does have some emotionality to it, but I would feel more emotionally connected if I had more of a connection to the two lead characters, which was my only issue with this movie. The animation's beautiful, the score is fantastic, the atmosphere is just amazing. This movie brims with atmosphere. The side characters are also really enjoyable to watch. There's some smart writing, very good tense direction in this movie. It's a very good movie, but again, just I wish I liked the lead characters more. So the movie's still good though. People praise it, which is great, but I still very much enjoy it. Coming number 3 is the movie Children Who Chase Lost Voices from Down Below. Yes, that's quite the title, and I'm probably not going to repeat that title because I'll get tongue-tied. I had like 6 cuts already because I couldn't say this damn title all in one sentence because the fucking title's so damn long. But yeah, this movie is a great movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Again, the atmosphere, the animation, that is what Makoto Shinkai masters. He masters that atmosphere and animation design, and also very good, intriguing storytelling. He's a hell of a good storyteller. This movie just goes freaking bonkers and out there. I had no idea where this movie was going. This movie turns into this dramatic movie, then it turns into this fantasy adventure movie, and then it turns into almost like this horror movie. Like, it was just freaking nuts, this movie. I had no idea where this movie was going. That's what I loved about this movie. It's so original and fresh, and I didn't know where it was going. It was not at all predictable. It also had really good side characters. I loved the teacher in this movie. What's his name? Mr. Morisaki or something? Yeah, he's my favorite character. I love that character. He's such a very complex character. You have no idea what he's planning. You have no idea what he's up to and stuff. He's just a guy who is looking to bring his wife back from the dead. That is all. That's the reason why he's there. This movie, again, the animation is gorgeous. The scenes at the bridge look amazing. You feel like you're standing on the bridge with the water. When they go into the other world, it's beautiful. So freaking beautiful. I love the story of this movie. It's a very smart, very cleverly told story. What's my only issue with this movie? The lead character. Yes. Again, I have this problem with Makoto Shinkai's movies. The lead girl in this movie, Asuna, she's a fine character, a very likable character, and there's intriguing things about her, and there's intriguing things that happen to her, but all in all, personality-wise, she's not very interesting. She really doesn't say anything interesting, and she really doesn't do anything very interesting. I found her kind of a boring character, and kind of a whiny character at times too, but she was still likable. I enjoyed her, but I just didn't enjoy her as much as the side characters. Like, Makoto Shinkai's movies have great side characters. I love the teacher. If Mr. Morisaki was the lead character, this movie would have been a hell of a lot better. Like, he was the best character in this whole movie. I freaking loved his character. I loved his backstory. It was so complex, so sympathetic. The shit he goes through this movie is just freaking awesome. The lead girl is fine, but I just didn't find her a very enjoyable character. That's it. That's my only issue I have with this movie. This movie is so good. The story, the pacing, the animation, the atmosphere, the action, adventurous this movie is, everything about this movie is just done so freaking well. Hands down, my third favorite Makoto Shinkai movie. Coming number 2 is 5 centimeters per second. This was hands down my favorite Makoto Shinkai movie up until this year. Like, everyone knows what my number 1 is, but yeah. 5 centimeters per second was my favorite Makoto Shinkai movie. This movie just freaking hit me. The day I watched this movie was like years ago. It freaking just hit me right there. Like, it is so sad, so impactful, so relatable, so realistic, just so bittersweet. This movie is amazing. And again, the problems I have with this movies, I don't have any of the problems in this movie. The lead characters are fantastic. Mostly the lead guy. He's the lead character of this movie, and he is a very interesting, compelling, riveting, three-dimensional character. You sympathize with this character. You're intrigued with this character. You want to know how his story is going to end, how it's all going to pan out. And it's a very realistic, very bittersweet ending. And it's so freaking well done. I love the little romance he has, the side thing he has with this other girl. It's so freaking well done. Seeing this kid's life is so freaking interesting, so freaking intriguing. Again, the animation's brilliant. All the train sequences are so good. The sound, the animation, the atmosphere, the score, the music. Everything about this movie was just brilliant. It's hands down one of my favorite Japanese animated movies of all time. It was my favorite Makoto Shinkai movie of all time. But then my number one came out, and yeah, let's get to my number one. My number one favorite Makoto Shinkai movie is this year's Your Name. Yes, Your Name is amazing. This movie is so amazing. It's so good. It's so freaking good. I love it. The lead characters are amazing. Again, the problems I have with most Makoto Shinkai movies, I have none of those issues with Your Name. The two lead characters are awesome. I love these two characters. They're the most interesting, compelling, most adorable characters. I love it. It's a switching bodies movie. It's about a guy and a girl who switch bodies. That story has been done to death, but the way how this movie does it is so fresh, so original, so amazing, so brilliantly executed, so amazingly directed, so marvelously written. I love it. The voice acting's fantastic. The animation's fantastic. The way the story's executed, how the movie ends is just so sad, so hopeful, so emotional, so impactful. I wanted to watch this movie again the moment it ended. This is hands down the best Makoto Shinkai movie. It is brilliant. Some of the most beautiful animation you'll see. This was my second favorite movie of 2016. If this movie does not get a Best Animation nomination at the Oscars, I will get annoyed. This movie deserves Best Animation nomination at the Oscars. I know it's a different movie, it's a Japanese animated movie that isn't Studio Ghibli, but it deserves a nomination. It really does. It's so good, it's brilliant, it's one of my favorite movies of 2016, and it's hands down my favorite Makoto Shinkai movie. So yeah, that was my ranking of Makoto Shinkai's movies from my least favorite to my favorites. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this ranking? If not, give me your ranking of all of Makoto Shinkai's movies from your least favorite to your favorite. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.